What's up, witches? It's Megan. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a sweet treat for you. We are going to be making Midsummer Cupcakes. The first thing you want to do is preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Then we're going to start our wet ingredients. You're going to need 4 tablespoons of butter and half a cup of granular sweetener. Mix it with a spoon to combine and set aside. Next, in a new bowl, we're going to mix together our dry ingredients. You're going to need 1 cup of almond flour, a 1/4 cup of coconut flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and mix it to combine. Now we're going to finish the wet ingredients that we started. You need 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 4 eggs, and 1 cup of plain Greek yogurt. And then mix it to combine. You can mix it by hand if you want, but this is easier for me to use a mixer or, use whatever you have available to you. Then we're going to add our dry ingredients to our wet ingredients. And then mix to combine and create our cupcake batter. Make sure you don't overmix the batter because that is not good for low-carb cupcakes. Then you want to prep your cupcake tin. I had paper cupcake holders, but you can use silicone ones if you have those too. I haven't tried making cupcakes without using the cupcake holders. I'm not sure how well that would work, but if you want to try that, give it a shot and let me know how it goes. After you have your cups all ready to go, you're gonna pour the batter into the cups. This recipe makes approximately 12 cupcakes, and I used a 1/4 cup of batter per cupcake. Now it's time for the cupcakes to go in the oven. Set your timer for about 30 minutes, but make sure you check them often. And then, if you're like me, you're gonna want to clean up the mess that you made before you move on to doing the next step. When they're done, take them out of the oven and check to make sure they're completely done by poking them with a toothpick or a knife. If it comes out clean, they're finished. While the cupcakes are cooling, we're gonna make the frosting. So you're going to need 2 sticks of butter, which is 1 cup, 2 tablespoons of heavy cream, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and 1.5 cups of confectioner sweetener. Then you're gonna slowly begin to mix it. When you make the frosting, make sure that your butter has been softened and you don't pull it straight from the refrigerator. If your butter hasn't completely softened yet, you might need to do what I did here and use a spoon to mash it all together. And then go in and finish with the mixer. And there you have your buttercream frosting. Make sure the cupcakes are completely cool before you frost them, or the frosting will melt. You also want to make sure that the cupcakes are completely cooled before you peel the wrapper off of them. Since they are low-carb cupcakes, if they're not completely cool, they will fall apart when you go to eat them. And then it's time to frost our cupcakes. Yes, I did improvise a piping bag and I used a Ziploc bag. Nobody ever said I was good at it though. I'm just going to go ahead and clean up some of the ones that look a little funky. And once you have your frosting on top, go ahead and sprinkle cinnamon over the top of your cupcakes. You can use whatever topping you want, cinnamon, chocolate powder, whatever, but I find that the cinnamon works better for what I like. For me and my beliefs, the fair folk always get the first cupcake. And now it's time to taste it. I was bummed out here because, well, I'll show you. It's stuck to the wrapper. I'm not sure if I did something wrong or they weren't completely cool. I think it's just the fact that they are low-carb cupcakes. But nonetheless, they were delicious. As you can tell, while I eat a whole cupcake in 3 bites. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to get a printable version of this recipe, you can find the link for that in the description below. As always, thank you to my patrons, Jess and Rose at wiccanhomestead.com. If you'd like to help support my channel, you can join me at patreon.com/roundthecauldron. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and give this video a thumbs up, and stick around to see what's next.